to LFR He Said. Today's episode 2, and I'm your host, Wahaj again. And today we're going to be talking about film dreams, making it happen in Leicester and Leicestershire. Today we're here joined by a special guest. Can you introduce yourself?
My name's Dan Edwards, and I run an organisation called Create 52 and 52 Stone Film.
And we are also joined by
Dalvin.
Ibrahim.
So in today's episode of LFR He Said, we explore what the film industry actually looks like, especially for young people in Leicestershire, from behind the camera to editing. There's more opportunity that you might think. We talk local projects, barriers, and how you can get involved even without fancy gear and all these big connections. So, my first question for you today, our guest, is when people say film industry, what do you think of? And does it ever feel something you could ever be a part of?
I think lots of people think that it's something that is Hollywood and London.
Yes.
And I think sometimes that young people think that it's not something you can get involved with. From my experience, so I was didn't really have the best education, didn't get the best qualifications, and I spent a lot of time kind of making my own, as a teenager, making my own films and bits and pieces like that. And then what we want to try and do at Create 52 is to give young people training opportunities to have workshops, develop their creative writing, and to create their own filmmaking. So there's loads of things going on. And actually, if you think about film, it's not just about the person in front of the camera or the person holding the camera, as you can see. And now there's loads of things that young people, young adults can get involved with and develop new skills. So it might feel like it's all Hollywood and you can't get there, but actually there's lots of pathways in that you can develop.
So it is possible for young people who doesn't have big connections or anything like that to get involved in it. But
I think one of the most important things is that we carry around a mobile phone, and that normally has a camera on, and you can just make your own film. You just got to think about what it is you want to do, how you want make it, how you want it to look, and all of a sudden you can start creating your own universe.
Stephen, why don't you ask your question? Second question.
So, what film-related stuff is already happening in Leicester?
So there's lots and lots of things that you can get involved with. So we put on lots of free workshops, and we allow people to come to our office to develop their own work, and we can mentor. There's also things like Platform in Leicester, which is run by the Phoenix Square, which is for new filmmakers to go and find out more about the industry, an opportunity to pitch an idea. If you have a film idea, you can go along. They have pitch nights, but they also have networking events as well. And there's tons and tons of small Facebook groups where people are trying to get actors together, filmmakers together, writers together, to just build a little network and find out what's there. But we've got the Phoenix. We've also got De Montfort University has lots of groups that you can access and things like that. So there's loads and loads of things that are out there. It's just about looking and finding it.
So, how do you reach out to people?
How do we reach out to people? So one of the things at Create 52 is we want to work with, and I spoke to Aaron about coming to find out about his projects and Leicestershire Cares, and just saying, we've got these opportunities coming on. We want to support people with their creative ideas. We want to give opportunities for people to shadow and support and mentor. So we kind of connect through our Facebook page. We have an Instagram, Twitter, or X, whatever, if people still use that. But yeah, we're constantly kind of connecting with schools and colleges and organisations such as this.
I want to play, after your answer, you said all these big De Montfort, Phoenix Cinema, all these stuff. Then what about online? How do platforms like YouTube and TikTok and all these play into today's film careers?
I think lots of people are using it as a platform to upload. It's a free platform where you can share your ideas as well. There's lots of really good people out there making short films in a vertical world, so in that kind of shot in regards to TikTok and Instagram and those social media. And I think people are just using it and saying, okay, there is no barrier. I've just got to make sure that I've got a really good idea, something really simple, and just share it. And sometimes they're the things that just happen.
So you're the teacher who teaches the acting stuff, or?
Well, I was a teacher for many years, but before that I got into teaching quite late. I didn't have the qualifications to become a teacher, so I went back to night school and trained very, very late to get my teaching qualification. So I didn't become a teacher until I was about 30. And then I trained as a drama teacher. And then I worked in Leicester. So we do a lot, but also my role within Create 52 is because I was a teacher to help young people and young adults kind of develop their skills, but also as well, I do a lot of producing. So I'm at this moment in time with our film company, putting together lots of our ideas, making sure we've got the right people attached to the projects, thinking about who could the actors be, how can we get opportunities for young people to get involved. So trying to pull all the things together.
Thank you very much. But that leads on to the second segment. I want to talk about the barriers and what can help us break through and start all from the industry. So, what stops young people from getting into the film industry, especially boys and young men from working class backgrounds?
I think sometimes is the creative industries, such as acting, drama, are sometimes seen as not macho or kind of those kinds of industries, and sometimes seen to be put off from that. Even at school, if you were going to do drama at secondary school, you might be a small amount of boys in there that you would be doing it. So immediately it feels like it's not a male thing. Writing, story writing, those kinds of things. Sometimes as boys, we're not good at that because we're not very good at sharing our emotions or our kind of imagination. And also as well, I think sometimes as a city, as Leicester, we kind of put ourselves down a bit when we see we're not Nottingham or we're not Birmingham or we're not London, so we sometimes think that actually, well, we don't have those things there. So they're the barriers. And I think sometimes in regards to working class backgrounds, and I come from a working class background, is the fact is that you're led to believe that film, drama, music and all of those things are not for you.
Because, I'm a neighbor. It's an actual fact that recent studies show that only 12% of UK film workers come from working class backgrounds. In your opinion, what can be done, well, mainly in Leicestershire, let's talk about Leicester, to bump those numbers higher? Because 12% is a very low number.
I think companies have to have a commitment to it, and they have to say, we are going to do this. We are going to make sure that we positively recruit from these areas. And because it might not happen otherwise. So you have to. I mean, one of the things that we have as a company is we make sure that we are taking from working class backgrounds and making sure even our board and all of the people involved in the organisation are from that working class backgrounds as well. So it's about a commitment to it.
Then what about this? Okay, I'm gonna name a scenario. Let's say I'm a young man and I want to get involved in the film industry and acting and all that stuff. And how do I get started locally? Like, how do I start? What's the first step that I should take?
Speak to people, reach out, try to make connections with people, talk to people. That's the most important thing. Knock on doors, email, say hello, have something to show or have an idea. So be kind of self-producing. So if you've got an iPhone, make a film on an iPhone. If you've got a story, get an overview of a story. And you'll find that the more you talk to people, more people will say, oh, you want to go and speak to them, or you might want to go and speak to them. So there are people that can connect you with things. It is just about being really brave and knocking on a door or making a phone call.
And do you have to have a certain degree in order to become an actor?
No, not at all. Some of the best actors that you have are not from skilled background or trained backgrounds. Some actors are from have gone to degrees or drama school. Some actors have just learned and have been able to do it. And I think what we've got to do is change that mindset that you have to go to university to be an actor or you have to go to university to be a writer. It's all about having the imagination, just going, I'm going to write a story for a film and then I'm going to make sure people listen to it. Or I'm going to film myself doing a monologue, or I'm going to go on, I'm just going to film myself doing something. It's the bravery that stops us sometimes.
So how long have you been working for this company?
So I have been doing lots of work in drama and theatre for many, many years. We started Create 52 at the start of this year, and we started to kind of develop our ideas at the back end of last year. So we're a new company, but all of our ideas for the films that we're trying to create have been around for quite a while. So it's a case of we had all of these ideas and we said, right, we better put them all under one umbrella. But I've been working with young people and drama and film for years and years and years.
Now, my question is a little bit more personal, not the film industry. Let's say right now, you were given full access and no like limits or anything. What kind of film would you make?
I would make a really simple story, something that is about relationships, something which is about just people. And I think I'm really fascinated about Leicester. I think we've got a really, diverse, multicultural society, and I think there's so many stories around our city, around how people interact with one another, that there'd be something in there which would just make it just beautiful. And I'm a great believer of a really simple story about real people. And so it'd be something about my city.
So it's the simplicity that fascinates you.
Yeah, and the story, and sometimes the most simplest films and the things that are just absolutely just have nothing in it, just the relationship between two characters, or how they interact, or their journey together, or how they may have overcome something. That's where, if you think about the films that you like, if you take all the things away, it really is just about people and how they connect with one another.
And this your dream film that you just said, you personally, how far do you think you're away from achieving this goal?
Well, we're working on a number of short films at the moment, where we're bringing well-known actors onto a project and into a city. We're just waiting to hear back if we've got the filmmaking rights for a book that's a big children's book, and if we can get that moving, that's really good. But it's always you take one step, and then you have to wait to someone to give you the money to do it. It's all money.
Yeah.
So you have to be really nice to people and say, "Come on, would you like to make this film?" And you're going to go, "If you do, we'll give you some biscuits or whatever." But yeah, so it's all about that. You have to really go step by step by step, but you get there.
What are some of the biggest actors you've worked with?
I haven't worked with many big actors, but there are lots of people who have worked in Leicester, who are from Leicester, and live in Leicester, that are massive. But the thing is, it's about making sure that we can get some really big actors to Leicester to make films with filmmakers in Leicester. Yeah. That's the key. That's the dream. That's the dream film.
That's the dream film.
That's the dream film.
So I want everyone here to share one film-related thing that you didn't know before. Any advice to any young people in Leicester who wants to start creating, like right now? Let's start with you.
Okay. It's not about degrees. It's not about university. It's about imagination and the want to do it.
I would say it's mainly what you said is important, but before a degree and all those stuff, the moment you decide that you want to get into it, it's about you put enough heart and bravery into it. It's about taking the risk and the step. Like, was your first movie a success?
Well, we're writing things at the moment.
Yeah.
So no.
Does success always come?
Not really, no.
Yeah, exactly.
No, sometimes you make something and no one sees it.
Then why do you still creating if you're
because it's the drive to want to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what about you guys?
I'm pretty sure if I say the film I want to make, it won't be allowed on YouTube, so I'm gonna skip quiet.
I think maybe I I'll do it like everybody can see that on Netflix, on YouTube. So because I want to show to people what I'm capable. I've got what I'm good at. Yeah.
But that's all the questions. Do you have one final word of advice or message that you want young people to hear?
I think it's just do it. Just go out and do it. That's it.
But now that's all the film-related and young people questions sorted. Now we're gonna personally get to know you more, so the audience can know more about you.
Okay, fine.
So you're from Leicester, you said.
Yes.
What's the best and worst thing about Leicester that you found?
The best thing about Leicester is that we are so different. We have such a massive city of so many different religions and backgrounds and beliefs and faiths. Everybody's come to Leicester with different stories and different experiences. I think that's amazing. I think it's just great. The worst thing about Leicester is sometimes we don't appreciate that difference as much as we should. So that for me is something like that. And also as well, I'm a big football fan. So the best thing about Leicester is winning the Premier League. The worst thing about Leicester is where we're currently at now.
Were you here to experience it?
What, the Premier League? Yeah. I was here in Leicester at that time. It was really exciting. I was a teacher at the time in a school down the road from the King Power, and when Vardy went on his run of every goal scoring every game, we had the press in to speak to the children, and they were really excited. But no, it was amazing. But it's not like that anymore.
Yeah, but you were there to experience what we
Yeah,
once
it was
had.
great. It was great.
Then, what's your best place in Leicester that you recommend to everyone that not many people know about?
I don't know if it's lots of people who don't know about it, but I was as a kid, I was always taken to Braggart Park like every weekend, and we used to live off Saffron Lane, not far from down here. So that was our kind of place where you'd go and see, deers and run up some hills and mountains and muck around and stuff like that. So Braggart Park is always a big favourite for me.
Are you a big nature guy?
I think I was, brought up in inner city Leicester, so we didn't have a big back garden. Our school didn't have a playing field. So as you get older, we had a park that we went to a lot. So to getting out of, be able to get out into the countryside is great.
What about others? Let us ask some questions.
I already asked my question during an interview.
So, what's your favorite actor? A famous one.
I think, if I'm honest, I think there's so many. I'm a big fan of Stephen Graham.
Oh, yes.
Who lives in Leicestershire, and he's great. But also, lots of different actors. David Thewlis, who was in Harry Potter, but lots of other films before that. Yeah, just loads. It's hard. Everybody does something in a different way for different things.
Like,
Really.
who'd you find the funniest actor, like from the comedian side?
If I'm honest, one of my favourite films that I find really, really funny that I could watch all the time if I'm bored or a bit sad is Bridesmaids with Kristen Wiig and all of that, and I love that film. So Kristen Wiig from Saturday Night Live, I think she's hilarious. I think she's just great. And all of those cast. Just a silly film, but yeah, it's good.
Also, speaking on the topic of films, there's a big debate going on. In which era do you think films were better? The old generation of films or the new generation of films? Which do you think are better?
I think when you go back to filmmaking, years and years ago, sometimes it's about the simple story. And obviously nowadays we've got lots of technology, we've got lots of kind of, all of that kind of stuff going on, which makes the experience even, more engaging. So it's hard. I don't think there's ever been the golden age. I just think we've got to learn to evolve and appreciate that filmmaking and films have changed along the way.
Well, see, as you said, you like simple stories, right?
Yeah.
But do you think that do you believe that everyone can like your story?
No, I don't think so. But I think if you think about stories, there is that thing about either someone helps someone out, and that's a way of, one story. Someone falls in love and doesn't fall in love. Someone overcomes something, a challenge. So there's lots of, apparently there's only 7 different types of story which just different ways of telling it.
Oh,
So my favourite film is someone who overcomes a big
hurdle or something like that. So let's say out of everyone here in this room you can see, if you want to start our own production, and you were to give one simple advice to us, how would you tell us to start right now?
Write it down if you can. Draw it. Get what it is in here onto a bit of paper. No matter how scruffy or how messy it is, but just get it out your head, and then work with that. And whether it's a list, whether it's a picture, whether it's just words, you don't have to be able to, have a beautifully crafted lots of paragraph after paragraph. Even if it's just a title, even if it's just a word, or someone says this to someone else, that could be the starting point you need.
That's the starting point. That starting point can be easy to write down because everyone can say something we can write down. What's the step after that?
It's about leaving it for a bit and then coming back to it and then going...
Can you elaborate on that?
Well, I think sometimes the problem is at school, we've always been told to write something and then the next day you have to redraft it, or the next hour. If you think about books and stories, people write them and then put them in drawers and put them away for ages and then don't look at them again.
Yeah.
So give it a bit of time. Just put it away and leave it and then come back to it. Because we don't have to just kind of make sure it's perfect straight away. Just write, even if it's not got any punctuation, even if it doesn't make sense to anybody else, get it out your head on paper. And then you can go through it bit by bit and make it neater.
Now, let's say we've came back to it. We're looking at it.
Yeah.
what about equipment and all that thing? How do we start? What affordability? Let's say we're just a bunch of young people. I'm speaking of for the every young people. As you can say, laws that maybe don't work or they are tight on budget. How do you think? What should we get? What equipment do we need?
I think some of the things, I mean, if you think about films recently, I think the latest 28 years later was all filmed, lots of that was filmed on an iPhone, you know, and we carry around, you know, if we look at our iPhones or our smartphones, you carry around a really, really powerful camera, you know, a HD camera, something that gives you really good quality. That's all you need. And you need someone to either be in front of it or something to put it on so you can film yourself. But really, I think sometimes people get, oh, I need to get this, I need to get this, I need to get that. We have the affordability of having this in our pocket, or you know, and then we can use that, and that's all you need.
What about when it comes to, let's say I filmed it, I've got it all on my phone right now. Where can I learn to, you know, all these, I don't know nothing about this contrast stuff, editing, cutting. Where can I learn that?
So we are hosting kind of edit workshops where you can come in with your camera phone and you can book a time and we can help you edit it and put it together. So we're at the moment fundraising for some edit boxes, which will have a computer in there, the bits and pieces that you might need to edit it all together, and you can book a place with us in our office and we'll be there to support. But yeah, just a very simple computer. You don't have to have the greatest computer. Obviously, if it's faster, it helps because you're putting all your information on there. But sometimes really simple things. But again, there's apps that you can download on your phone, which you can edit and put together as well.
That means one final question about you is, what made you or gave you the motivation to like start helping young people? Like, why do you want to do it?
I wasn't very good at school at anything other than drama and mucking around.
Yeah.
And I always knew that drama and that performing art and writing was the thing that stopped me from getting kicked out of school really badly. So that helped me, and I had a teacher who said, I'll support you, and he was great. And it was just that thing of, actually, sometimes we're not great mathematicians, we're not great scientists, but we can write stories, or we can we've got our imaginations, and actually sometimes we forget we have that. And I've been very fascinated about just giving young people the opportunity to develop that.
Has that been your motivation throughout your life?
Yeah, I've always worked in schools where children need that extra support, and to have that creativity is a huge thing.
As obviously you've talked about all your high points, what motivates you. Has there ever been a point in your life where you were just so unmotivated, so down, that you just felt like giving up? Have you ever hit at that point?
Yeah, oh gosh, yeah, definitely. I think it's really important. I think as a male, we don't talk about it enough, but I think there was times where you're trying to work on something, or you know, things aren't going particularly great. And yeah, there's lots of times like that. But I think that also makes you, if you can reflect on that, makes you a better someone who can create a bit more, because you that's part of your story. That's part of your story world, isn't it? It's the bits that you kind of remember to kind of go, oh, that was quite interesting. I might write about that.
All right. Thank you very much. That's all from us. Thank you for all the
having
answers.
me.
Yeah, but we should be thank you for coming.
No.
And
Pleasure.
You're helping us reach out to other young people. We're doing everyone a favor, and thank you very much. That's all from me.
That's it.
Just welcome. You're more than welcome to come again.
I'd be delighted to. Yeah,
Happy
if the
to
coffee
know you.
is this good,
Yeah.
I'll come again. But maybe on a cooler day. That's okay. I'm boiling.
Do you want to tell
But
everyone
no.
like where they can find you?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in filmmaking and opportunities, our project is called Create 52. So we have a website, create52.net. And if you're interested in kind of finding out about the filmmaking that we do, it's 52 Stone Film. That's it.
So people can go there anytime, and
What we try to do is if people get in contact with us, we can support and help. Yeah. That's what we
does
try
it have to
do.
be a certain age?
We're looking, obviously at the moment, we're working with people over the age of 18. But if we're a safe working environment for
You're
young
looking to
people as well.
expand.
Yeah.
It's kind of like 18, 20, 21, 22.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Up to 25, 26.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. We want to make sure that everybody's got an opportunity to develop in that area,
Yep.
and where we can help the best.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.